All right, how's it going, y'all? So, SpaceX officially has an office, and this is it right here. We have moved out of our guest bedroom, and we've actually even moved as well. But now we have moved all of SpaceX operations out of our house, and we finally have an office. And this is the very first video within it, and we're gonna go on a tour. It's complete chaos right now, but I really want to show it off because it is going to be absolutely awesome for this channel and also just the consulting business in general. All right, before I get started, I do want to say YouTube videos like this are not actually our business. That's not how we make money. It is how we get our clients, but we are full-time IT consultants, and that is actually what I'm doing all day. And so really the YouTube videos and stuff are a secondary thought. And so having this office is going to actually be absolutely great for those. We got this new office. It's got 3 rooms. We've got a break room with a sink in it. And that's how you know we're real. And there's also a bunch of other great things about it that I'm really excited for. First off, we have walls with drop ceilings on top and ceiling tiles. And that means I can pretty much run anything in the world I want to run. It's absolutely awesome. Ethernet cable wise, they said, hey, as long as you don't move any walls, you're pretty much good to do whatever you want to. So I'm going to be running tons and tons of network cables, and having the drop ceilings means it is so much easier to do them. I'm going to show that off in a little bit here because we're going to be doing a ton of network runs. Another really great thing about actually having our own office is the server room is now away from us. It is actually in its own dedicated room. We actually keep it in the break room. And it also means that I can have a full and complete offsite backup at my house that is failover ready. I had one at my mom's house, but it was not that great. Anytime I need to do anything, I would have to go talk to her and figure that out. Now, I've got access to both locations super quick, and we now finally have AT&T fiber. And so we've got gigabit symmetric at both locations with a block of 5 static IPs. And so there's so much more stuff I can do with that. And it's just awesome having fiber service. After we moved from Huntsville, Alabama back up to Raleigh, which is where we're now, we unfortunately lived in the one place in Raleigh that does not have access to any fiber internet providers at all. The only option was Charter Spectrum. So we had 40 megabit up for their nicest plan. And it is so nice to be away from that. Uploading videos is literally 25 times faster now. And so it is so nice. What used to take almost an hour now gets done in about 2 minutes. It is so nice and so much easier to upload. I used to actually have to have a virtual machine back at our old place just to upload videos because I didn't want to have my laptop on or my desktop on for an hour and not have to refresh a page. So I literally remote into it. So many great things are happening here, and I'm really excited to show them off. So it's complete and total chaos right now, but I want to go ahead and kind of just walk around the office and show all the different great things that are going on here because it's so fun to have. And I think there's going to be a lot of great stuff we can start doing and really start making better videos, especially when it comes to better B-roll and being able to test out products better and actually have a dedicated space to do stuff. This room that's my office is twice the size of my old office. And we also still have an entire break room, and Katie's got her own office. We have so much room in here to do so much more stuff, and it is going to be awesome. So the first up on our tour has to be the new break room, which to y'all is going to be the server room and the network infrastructure room, and we're going to go there now. All right, and so this right here is the money maker. This is the box. And this is what we've got all of our servers in. It is a full 8-foot server rack. I've got like 4 NASs at this point in this thing, and it is absolutely awesome. It's also really nice because it also locks, which is useful when you're actually in an office environment, not actually a house, where we do have cleaning people coming by. It's just nice being able to lock that stuff up and just make sure that nobody can accidentally get access to it accidentally or anything like that. And luckily this unit has its own thermostat, actually one in each room, and it's done an awesome job of keeping up. I was actually really worried when we were first moving in here that it was going to be super hot in here because they just were not going to be able to handle the AC for it. But it turns out they've got dedicated HVAC units for every single one of the rooms, or at least they're able to divert air somehow, because right here it is running right next to it, and it is 72 degrees in here, and we've had a pretty warm day, and so the AC has been running, and it's keeping this room nice and cool. Really, really, really nice to see. And it's also nice that it is completely able to be enclosed. It's honestly not nearly as loud as you would expect. I've gotten it down where all the units run pretty quiet, honestly, but it's still nice being able to close this stuff off as I need to. But honestly, even for filming, I don't feel the need to really much at all. So I'm not gonna go super in depth in any part of this video, but right now what we've got is we've got AT&T coming in. It's behind me. I'll show it on B-roll right there. And it just comes into the WAN port of the UDM. And unfortunately, the way AT&T works is you require their modem. You can't just like plug your fiber directly into your own device because of the way it does authentication or something like that. So we do have to have that. Apparently a technician can come out and set it up, but honestly, I'm planning on doing some things that would actually be nice to have a separate router ahead of time, so I can pull off an entire client router where I can completely sequester out a client system if I need to, and not even have it on my own hardware, have it only on their hardware, pulling its own public IP address, completely isolated from everything else, which would be nice to do. And so there's some reasons why I'm leaving it like that, which is nice. So honestly, a ton of this stuff right now is really just temporary. My RJ45 10 gig switch completely going out and actually going to go behind the camera in a network closet I'm about to show you there. And so a lot of stuff's getting moved out here. And I'm going to completely redo the power supplies because Unify sent me over their massive rack mount PDU that is the full height. And so it's going to be running along the back there. It is something I've wanted to do for such a long time, and Unify came out with it. And so I'm absolutely doing that. Another thing, I am now a Unify affiliate. So there's Unify affiliate links down in the description below. Absolutely awesome for that. So check those out. I'll start linking all that stuff down there. I'm also really excited because we can start running cables. I have a whole bunch of fiber to start running. We're gonna run fiber once again to my computer, which is actually a way shorter run now. I actually could get a DAC cable there if I didn't care about running it through the wall because it's literally just on the other side of that wall right there. And that is for my 25 gig hookup to my computer. Absolutely overkill, but still really nice to have. And the rest of the fiber is actually going to be run through the ceiling tiles to the network rack, where we're going to actually be running network rack. So I've got my PoE stuff, I've got my 10 gig stuff, all going to be wired to a specific place, and I'm going to go ahead and show it that next. But before I do that, I will treat y'all to some lovely B-roll of the new break room. All right, so this right here is the other side of the break room, and this is going to be my network distribution rack. So if you remember my house in Huntsville and my laundry room, if y'all were there back then, I had essentially a very similar setup here. Essentially having the server and the network rack kind of separated from each other, and that gives you a lot of good reasons. One, maintainability. It's way easier to have something like this because when you're actually wiring and terminating wires, you kind of want that to be stable. And with this, I can leave the wires in place, move it around the server rack if I need to, or anything like that. Switch out the server rack, whatever. I'm going to be able to do that because there's nothing permanently run to it. Another huge thing is just a wiring mess. This right here is natively just going to be a mess of wires. We've got way more wires coming in. And when you separate them out, you can really keep them a lot more organized because you never have to like re-rack anything, move anything around. Once it's here, it's pretty much going to be fixed. Luckily, these right here are ceiling tiles, and the previous tenants wired a ton of them. The previous tenants were here for like 15 years and ran Cat 5. I'm not even sure if the previous tenants or even the tenants before that ran it. Whoever did ran Cat 5, which can't even do gigabit speeds. So I've got to rerun all these runs with Cat 6. I'm going to do Cat 6, not going to do Cat 6e because there's no point. These runs are going to be well under 100 feet. And luckily, because they already did the runs and these are drop ceilings, it's going to be pretty easy. I've got platinum rated bulk RJ45 cable and a whole lot of time on my hands. What I'm essentially going to do is every single time they did one run, I'm going to do 4 just because it's not that hard to do now, a lot harder to do later. Then what I'm going to do is essentially just duct tape 4 cables to one of theirs and just pull it on through. So I can pull them through, and that way I can do those 4 runs very quickly and easily. The only thing that increases in time-wise is the termination time, which is really not that hard. And that way, I'm just going to have a ton of runs, and they're all going to end up here. I'm also going to be running at least 2 Wi-Fi access points. Why not? Unify sent me over 2 Wi-Fi access points, one of the U7s and one of the 6E professionals, so I'm really excited for that. I've got my 2.5 gigabit PoE switch right here that I actually bought a long time ago, and another one of their PDUs, so I can not only track, but also power cycle stuff completely remotely, which is going to be absolutely awesome. Then I'm also going to be doing about 4 fiber runs from here to the server rack. I think that's probably what I'm going to start with, and I'm going to have it for now probably a temporary setup. All right, well, I think that's pretty much it for the start of this tour. There's a whole lot more to come, and you're going to be seeing a ton more videos on this. And honestly, I'm trying to do a bunch of videos on this because this is the stuff to me that is fascinating. I love it when channels make videos like this. I love seeing behind the scenes on how everything works and how everything's set up. Please put down in the comments below what you found interesting, what you want me to do a deep dive in, because I'll be honest with you, I'm not the best at making these videos. I'm a lot better at making tutorials. I've got a lot better experience at it. But these are really fun for me to make. So yeah, put down in the comments below what you want to see me make, what you want to see me go over, and I'll probably try to do it. All right, have a good one. Bye.